Honored guests and celebrants, please show your appreciation in thanking the Loyola Wind Ensemble under the direction of Dr. Frederick Lowe. The ceremony will begin shortly. At this time, please take your seats and please silence your cell phones.
This is the day we've been waiting for.
This is the day we've worked for,
studied for,
practiced for,
prayed for,
fought for.
1,000 moments have led to this day.
Exams, projects,
Service.
Late nights and early mornings.
Concerts, games,
Coffee. Lots of coffee. And 1,000 more will come from it.
Careers, friendships,
adventures across the globe.
Triumphs, challenges,
The chance to make a difference.
This is the day we start something new.
Empowered by things we found here.
community,
Faith.
inspiration,
Pride.
A world-class education.
To create an impact.
in Chicago and beyond.
In ways big and small.
that make the world a better place.
This is the day we've dreamed of.
this is the day.
Our day.
Today,
This is the day we've envisioned.
It's here.
Now let's go forth.
And set the world on fire.
Honored guests and celebrants, may we have your attention, please, so we can begin this ceremony. Please draw your attention to the processional of faculty, administration, and President's Party members. Please welcome Margaret Callahan, Provost and Chief Academic Officer for Loyola University Chicago, who serves as your Master of Ceremonies for today's program.
President Reed, Dean Newell, Dean Tuckman, members of the Board of Trustees, officers of the university, deans and vice presidents, guests of honor, members of the faculty, candidates for graduation, and their family and friends. Welcome to the 154th commencement of Loyola University Chicago for the School of Education and the School of Environmental Sustainability. As we begin, I'd like to draw your attention to the university's land acknowledgement statement on the inside front cover of your program, honoring the heritage of the grounds we walk. Now, will everyone who is able please stand as the Loyola Wind Ensemble plays the national anthem, we will ask you to remain standing until after Lee Hubble, Director of Loyola University Chicago Opportunities in Catholic Education, and the Jesuit Volunteer Corps Magis for First Studies program gives the invocation.
Creator, architect of this grand cosmos and all that is good, your limitless diversity extends to humanity and no one is excluded. We stand before you today and we recognize you as mother, father, sister, brother, friend, truth, wisdom, and spirit. We pause to call to mind all those that have helped us to be here today. We recall these names in a spirit of gratitude. We ask that all we have learned, all that we have experienced, and all that we have become be used to help us be prophets to each other, bringing a message of hope and love, to help us tear up and knock down old ways of thinking and prejudice, to help dismantle systems that create division, injustice, and inequity, to build and plant seeds of hope, joy, love, peace, justice, to be courageous and bold in our desire to bridge all that divides us, to bring hope in places where there is despair, to be the light in spaces that are dark, to seek liberation from oppression, and to walk into spaces that call for a voice of justice and action. As we go from this place, let us be audacious in our actions to create the beloved community, where resources are shared, all are treated with respect and dignity, and there is no war or division. Today, bestow on us hope. Help us to act boldly, to love courageously, and to have the audacity to know that we do make a difference. With grateful hearts, we pray and say, Amen.
Thank you, Lee. Will everyone please be seated? It is now my pleasure to present Dr. Marketa Newell, Interim Dean for the School of Education.
Thank you, Provost Callahan. Congratulations, School of Education graduates. You did it. I know that when you started this journey, you did not anticipate all the ways in which you would be transformed as a person, as a community member, and as a professional. We are immensely proud of you for your perseverance, dedication, and service to our communities. On behalf of the School of Education faculty and staff, it has been our honor to travel alongside you as you work towards this wonderful achievement. We thank you in advance for all that you will do to create more equitable, high-quality education and mental health services available to all those you will serve. Again, congratulations, graduates. I would now like to present Dr. Nancy Tuckman, Founding Dean of the School of Environmental Sustainability.
Thank you, Marketa. Today we celebrate the 2024 graduating class of the School of Environmental Sustainability and the School of Education. There are 149 SES graduates this year. That's our biggest number yet. These are students who are agents of change for a cleaner, healthier, more just, and sustainable world. They've acquired knowledge and the entrepreneurial talents for developing solutions to environmental problems. They're doggedly committed to putting their knowledge and skills to work to help build a more just, sustainable, and hope-filled future. To all Loyola graduates in this arena, I wish you the courage to remain true to your values in the face of challenge and adversity, and a love of life that continues to inspire your work in the service of God, creation, and humanity. Congratulations on your graduation from Loyola, and I wish you the best of luck in your very promising futures. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Newell and Dean Tuckman. With pleasure, I now present Elizabeth Rose Usher, candidate for the degree Bachelor of Science in Education, Secondary Education from the School of Education, and a Bachelor of Arts in English from the College of Arts and Sciences, magna cum laude. She will offer some remarks on behalf of the graduates of the School of Education.
Thank you, Provost Callahan. Good morning, President Reed, Provost Callahan, Dean Newell, Dean Tuckman, guest speaker Steve Bynum, faculty and administrators, family and friends, and of course, the Loyola University of Chicago graduating class of 2024. You know, I recently told my high school students that beginning a speech with a quote is tacky and cliche. When I found this one, however, I couldn't pass up the chance to share it. In his 1903 play, The Man and Superman, Barnard Shaw wrote, "Those who can, do. Those who can't, teach." Yeah, it's nonsense, of course, but it still begs the question, what do educators do? To start, we teach. And by teaching, we join a grand eclectic list of greats. Albert Einstein and Andy Griffith, Zig Kala-Sa and Sandra Cisneros, W.E.B. Du Bois and Bill Nye. The list is long and glorious. As educators, we also fight for social justice. We have the opportunity to foster empathy, equity, and advocacy for the self and for others. We ask the hard questions that expose the roots of oppression in hopes of growing something new. And we become community builders as we bring people together in pursuit of knowledge. Remember that everyone is your neighbor. Don't be fooled by the idea that you have to shoulder all of this work on your own. But most of all, those truly passionate about education know it's about more than an occupation. Einstein and many others started out as teachers, but even as their careers expanded beyond the classroom, they never stopped educating. It's not so much about a paycheck as it's a mission and purpose of the soul. It's a faith in knowledge and humanity that, for better or worse, you carry with you everywhere. So, regardless of whether you find yourself as a teacher, small business owner, or beyond, these skills will always be yours. Because those who can, teach. And those who can't, do something less impressive, probably. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I think every young student would love to have you as their teacher. Humor's good. I would now like to introduce Michael Eli Huey, candidate for the degree Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Studies from the School of Environmental Sustainability, who will offer some remarks on behalf of the graduates of the School of Environmental Sustainability.
Thank you, Provost Callahan. Welcome, parents, esteemed faculty, and graduates. Congratulations. As ecologists, activists, and environmentalists, we have spent these past several years diligently gathering the tools we need to carve a sustainable future for our people and our planet. The journey to environmental justice is not easy. We have been disappointed with the lack of concrete social and environmental progress in our lifetimes, and so we have taken up the fight for ourselves as emerging leaders of a greener future for all global citizens. For us, environmentalism is more than a degree. It is a way of life, representing years of assiduous devotion to better understand how our liberation is tied to the Earth's. During our collective, unending dedication to champion our planet and her people, perhaps you've asked yourself, as I have, is this enough? In her poem, Wild Geese, Mary Oliver says, "You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves." As we go forward from this momentous day, I ask that you take these words to heart. Something very small, very soft, and very tender in our spirits has called us to take up the torch of ecological stewardship and community resilience. The road to a just and sustainable future is long and arduous. There is much that hasn't been done, and there will always be more to do. But rather than repent, pause and listen to that soft animal of your body and let it drive your continued love for the planet. I ask that as you go forward today, continue to use the instruments you have gathered to advocate for the silenced voices and never cease in your dedication to your planet and your fellow people. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Michael. It is now my pleasure to welcome back Dean Tuckman, who will introduce our commencement speaker, Steve Bynum.
I have the distinct pleasure of introducing today's commencement speaker, who's not only a champion of the environment and education, but also a friend, Mr. Steve Bynum. Steve may be best known for his role as senior producer of Worldview with Jerome McDonald on WBEZ, National Public Radio Station. But his commitment to serving the public goes far beyond that. Over the course of his impressive career in public media, Steve has been described as a champion of social justice and diversity and a justice seeker. That's easy to see. For nearly 2 decades, Worldview welcomed a diversity of topics and opinions. While serving as senior producer, Steve created opportunities that drew listeners together from all over Chicago and the world with a clear message that we're all in this together. This was true when Steve and Worldview's crew broadcast live right here on this campus during our climate change conference, and again when they walked in marches during the 2019 Youth Climate Strike in downtown Chicago, an event I know our own students participated in. That willingness to meet people where they are and create a space for their stories is what sets Steve apart. This isn't just his job, it's his way of living. I'm thrilled to share that Steve now serves as Chicago Public Media's very first manager of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Steve is blazing a trail for what true inclusion should look like in public media. I, for one, cannot wait to see the good that I know will come from his dedication and commitment. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Steve Bynum.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. Make a joyful noise. Wonderful to see you. Wonderful. Amazing. President Reed, Provost Callahan, Deans Tuckman and Newell, faculty administrators, the hardworking staffs of the School of Environmental Sustainability and the School of Education, family and friends, and of course, the Loyola graduating class of 2024. I am bereft of words to express my joy in being with you today. Nearly 80 years ago, the class of 1949 graduated from this university, a class that lived through the beginnings and the very end of World War II. And few classes since World War II have endured more than the class of 2024. I was here with my wife, Linda, my daughter, Emily, my mother, Diane, to see my son, Joshua, graduate from this program, SES, 5 years ago. How could we know at that time that would be the last, quote unquote, normal graduation Loyola would see for some time? You all started your college journeys in isolation and existential uncertainty. Today, the word normal feels almost anachronistic, out of place. We may not see again graduates as courageous, resilient, and determined as you, and we salute you. Axios, you are worthy. Axios. At that 2019 graduation, your student speaker was Paul Campion, a leader in the Sunrise Movement. And rather than start his speech with the usual platitudes and thanks to everyone, his first words were, 11 years. We have 11 years to save this planet from catastrophe, according to the new UN climate report. This is the world you've left us. Now it's up to us to fix it. We have to do it because you failed us. Paul got a standing ovation from the parents. His words screamed, do something. So allow me to have a Paul Campion moment. In most commencement addresses, you're supposed to offer words of wisdom, instruct, guide, inspire. Well, I'm from Generation X, and in deep humility, I will speak on behalf of those here from generations past to say this. We did fail you, and we are sorry. We failed and set us on a path to catastrophe, unsustainable student loan debt, unaffordable living, climate catastrophe and climate refugees, spikes in depression, anxiety, and hatred, all caused by our insatiable and unquenchable desire for more. You see, we're caught in this vice grip where more is good. And we blame the injustices of more on a word that makes my hair stand on the back of my neck. Yes, I'm bald, but I do have those hairs. That word is scarcity. That we just don't have enough for everyone's needs, so many must suffer. I reject this myth of scarcity. Our earth gives us all that we require. We do not need to plant more trees. We will never plant enough trees or recycle enough plastic to match our ravenous desire for more. We must finally learn to want less, take less, and consume less. In his book, Pyramids of Sacrifice, Political Ethics and Social Change, the late sociologist Peter Berger formed 25 theses about development. He wrote that, quote, growth, for its own sake, as a component of modern capitalism, must be done away with. That the most pressing human costs are in terms of physical deprivation and suffering, and the most pressing moral imperative in policymaking is a calculus of pain, end quote. Berger also asserts that, quote, human beings have the right to live in a meaningful world. An assessment of the costs of policy must also include a calculus of meaning, end quote. So I believe you should question anyone or anything that asks more from you that causes pain or is not based on compassion and self-sacrifice. Don't wait for magnanimous acts by those in power. It's irrational to expect the privilege to relinquish control. It's pointless to complain when they don't. Demand, but then you must act. Capitalism won't allow CEOs, board members, or trustees to be selfless and compassionate. I know many of them. They're not bad people. They love their families. They love people. They love their pets. But they, as we all, are trapped in a system where being selfless is foolhardy, where kindness is weakness, and mindfulness is inefficient. A woman who sits on a board with me said during the pandemic, she heard for the first time the words love and kindness mentioned at a corporate board meeting. History reveals that in the world of more, championing the marginalized will not be popular nor profitable. So when you become board members, chief officers, trustees, champion those qualities that might not raise stock prices or increase major gifts and profit margins, but choose the qualities that make humanity worth saving. Love, joy, empathy, and reconciliation. Let's reserve these for more than just our places of worship, our families, or business ethics courses. Because at a certain point, one has to transition from wanting to be successful to wanting to be significant. But I marvel at all of you. Why is that? Because you will quit a job without having a job if asked to violate your conscience. Because you won't allow the comforts of capitalism to dictate your values. because you dare to speak truth to power, because you're not afraid to hold us accountable. You all will work to do something greater and significant. I recall the writings of St. John Chrysostom, a doctor of the church. In one of his homilies, he expounds on the marvels of nature, and about one animal in particular that reminds me of you. He preaches this: take from the bee at once a lesson, as she traverses all the meadows, that she may prepare a banquet for another. So also, O man, do thou likewise. And if you have accumulated wealth, expend it upon others. If you have the faculty of teaching, do not bury the talent, but bring it out publicly for the sake of those who need it. Or if you have any other advantage, become useful to those who require the benefit of your labors. Do you not see that for this reason the bee is more honored than the other animals? Not because she labors, but because she labors for others. So the honeybee that we're pushing toward extinction guides us. Likewise, indigenous peoples provide a blueprint for our survival, a sanctuary from our fruitless quest for more. This is from indigenous wisdom called the honorable harvest. Ask permission of the ones whose lives you seek. Abide by the answer. Never take the first, never take the last. Harvest in a way that minimizes harm. Take only what you need and leave some for others. Use everything that you take. Take only that which is given to you. Share it as the earth has shared with you. Be grateful. Reciprocate the gift. And sustain the ones who sustain you, and the earth will last forever. All of you are the honorable harvest, the wheat, the salt, and the life-giving waters of this world. Your light illumines our path forward. Our selfish choices laid a heavy burden on you, but take heart. Your voices forced a reckoning, and we hear you. We're learning and taking our cues from you. You infuse us with determination and hope. We're now shifting how we invest, how we work, what we value, because you give us no other choice. I marched with my daughter, and maybe some of you, during the youth climate strikes of 2019. You were on fire. You set us on fire, and we are with you. To quote Muhammad Ali, you shook up the world. And when people bemoan the times that we're in, ask them this: whom have you failed to serve? Whom have you failed to love? Why are you still full rather than empty? Because when you empty yourself, that holy and joyful word in the Greek, kenosis, and you work for others, and you weep for others, and you allow your heart to break for others, you will find yourself far from despair. Because frankly, you'll be too exhausted. Congratulations and blessings.
Thank you, Steve, for your thoughtful and inspiring words. The candidates for the degree Doctor of Education from the School of Education will now be presented. Dean Marqueta Newell will make the recommendations to the president, who in turn will confer the degrees. I'd invite President Reed and Dean Newell to the podium.
Will the candidates for the degree Doctor of Education from the School of Education please rise? President Reed, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Doctor of Education. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Education and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago, by the state of Illinois, and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the Doctor of Education degrees for which you have been recommended. Congratulations.
The candidates for the degree Doctor of Education will now come forward to be recognized by name as directed by the marshals. The relationship between the doctoral student and the faculty director is of central importance to the student's progress and development as an independent scholar. In recognition of this unique relationship, the directors will hood their graduates. Dr. Vesna Zutrovic, Clinical Assistant Professor and Faculty Coordinator of School and Community Partnerships, will read the names of the candidates. Candidates who have not yet been taken out of your rows may be seated again. Friends and families, please remain in your seats and hold your applause until all degrees have been recognized so that each candidate's name may be heard by their family and loved ones. Guests are not permitted on the arena floor or near the stage. Professional photographers are taking photos of the graduates, and these photos will be available to you in the coming days. Thank you for your cooperation.
Receiving the degree, Doctorate in Education, and hooded by their director, Dr. Amy Nelson Christensen, we present Dr. Monica Ruby Cross. Dr. Carla J. Boyd. Dr. Crystal Gillis. Also receiving the degree Doctor in Education and hooded by their director, Dr. Courtney Bindrich, Dr. George Edward McIntosh. Dr. Kathleen Newman Stewart. Dr. Stacy Lorenzo Suits. Receiving the degree, Doctorate in Education, and hooded by their director, Dr. Siobhan Cafferty, Aisha Alateri. Dr. Aisha Alateri. Al-Bakri, I'm sorry. Dr. Melissa Ashley Hess. Dr. Veronica Louise Grego Sanders, hooded by Director Siobhan Cafferty. We just like you that much. Receiving also the degree of Doctorate in Education and hooded by their director, Dr. Richard Camacho, Dr. Alex Glynn Casper. Dr. Anna Mandrapa. Receiving the degree Doctorate in Education and hooded by their director, Dr. A. David Ensminger, Dr. Amy Bedford. Hooded by their director, Dr. Eileen Edige, Dr. Candice Monique Kiles. Dr. Mia Michonne Robinson. Dr. Adam James West. Dr. Yoshaka Wilson. Yoshaka Wilson. Receiving also the degree of Doctorate in Education and hooded by their director, Dr. Pamela Fenning, Dr. Brianna Paulina Callahan. Dr. Lemetris Lynn Lane. Dr. Andrew Martin. Dr. Karina L. Rodriguez. Receiving the degree Doctorate in Education and hooded by their director, Dr. Amy Heineke, Dr. Joseph Powell Elliott. Dr. Patricia Huizar Villalobos. Hooded by their director, Dr. Michelle Leah, and receiving the Doctorate in Education, Dr. Michael Jesse Godinez. Dr. Erin Mary Monahan. Receiving the degree Doctorate in Education and hooded by their director, Dr. Leah Marks, Tarika Scott Brown. Dr. Tarika Scott Brown, sorry. Woo! Dr. Dahlia Bunny. Dr. Nakia Hardrick. Dr. Nicole Woomer Garrity. Dr. Jennifer King. Dr. Kristen Baxinos Sewell. Receiving the degree, Doctorate in Education, and hooded by their director, Dr. Ashley Mayworm, Dr. Rosemary Hoey. Dr. Rachel Brooke Lang. Dr. Maggie Garcia Neidhart. Dr. Melissa Ruggles Stern. Receiving the degree, Doctorate in Education, and hooded by their director, Mary Quinn Kreinich, Dr. Shayna Victoria Axelrod. Dr. Andre Lamonte Bala. Dr. Teresa Marie Little. Dr. Lucas James Livingston. Dr. Nilma Oseki. Dr. Cody Randall Pulliam. Dr. Erica Jennifer Cordelia Whitmore. Receiving the degree, Doctorate in Education, and hooded by their director, Dr. Lara Smetana, Dr. Krishna R. Millsap. Also receiving the degree, Doctorate in Education, and hooded by their director, Dr. Deborah Sullivan, Dr. Colleen J. Brewer. Dr. Kate Elizabeth Schulte. Receiving the degree, Doctorate in Education, and hooded by their director, Dr. Gofeng Wan, Dr. Stephanie Lynn Kiley. And Dr. Augustina Ngozi Mbata. Congratulations, graduates.
The candidates for the Education Specialist degree will now be presented. Dean Newell will make the recommendations to the President, who in turn will confer the degrees.
Will the candidates for the Education Specialist degree please rise? President Reed, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the Education Specialist degree. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Education and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the State of Illinois and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I am pleased to confer upon you the Educational Specialist degree for which you have been recommended. As a sign of your new academic status, please don your hoods. That means put them on. Congratulations.
The candidates for the Education Specialist degree will now come forward as directed by marshals to be recognized by name. Dr. Vesna-Jovic will read the names of the candidates. Candidates, if you've not been taken out of your rows, you may be seated again. As a reminder to our guests, please stay in your seats.
Receiving the degree of Education Specialist, Matilda Abostidi Adeboye. Christina June Berger. Victoria Bielskite. Emily Bryan. Alyssa Collins. Sarah Elizabeth Cooper. Alexander Xavier Kukuru. Patrick Daniel Gable. Aruj Zaidi. Vanessa Serda. Jasmine Marie Hernandez. Allison Marie Jessup. Paige Adriana Capitan. Elizabeth F. Cardis. Madeline Olivia Laleve. Laura Rose Leiden. Mirella Masimovic. Emily Elizabeth McDowell. Michaela Nicole Mosconi. Elena Annalisa Necessary. Alexis Morrill Parsons. Sarah E. Petro. Griffin James Ross. Mary Umarin. Congratulations, graduates.
The candidates for master's degrees and certificates from the School of Education will now be presented. Dean Newell will make the recommendations to the President, who in turn will confer the degrees and the certificates.
Will the candidates for the master's degrees and certificates from the School of Education please rise? President Reed, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for degree, Master of Education, and certificates from the School of Education. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees and certificates, and I recommend that these degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Education and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the master's degrees and the certificates for which you have been recommended. And as a sign of your new academic status, master's degree candidates, please don your hoods. Congratulations.
The candidates for master's degrees and certificates will now come forward to be recognized by name as directed by the marshals. Dr. Vesna Zujovic will read the names of the candidates. Candidates who have not been taken out of their rows may be seated again.
Receiving the degree Master of Education, Sarah Drew Roos. Devin Renee Schaff. Jean E. Vandergriff. Hannah Moser. Maria Isabel Reyes. Morgan Lee Fellows. Carter Olson. Cynthia Rodriguez. Mark Ian Summerside. Alejandra Nicole Urbina Quiroz. Mary Claire Caneli. Satyavati Patel. Kylie Rogers. Monica Turwitz. Allison Marie Gonzalez. Rowan Ownby. Amy Isabel Perez. Haley Elizabeth Stoltz. Martina Z. Zabala. Ashley Jeanette Berger. Joy Elizabeth Gabala. Jasmine Gonzalez Sandoval. Celia Ariana Hernandez. Felicia Herminia Hernandez. Evelyn Giovanna Pasifasi. Jennifer Quintero. Gabrielle Rund. Isabel Santos. Alexis Sarah. Brendan Emaus Mulaney Carew. Harper Case. Marissa Ann Colantono. Shayna Curtis. Emily Ann Doherty. Angela Melitz Gloniger. Ann Killian Heilsberg. Lauren Kirsting. Scott Robert Klosterman. Kelly Rose McCaffrey. Charles Nicholas Pierre Matte. Alexandria Serbanovsky. Amanda Hartley Arteaga. Allison Kurtz Volkers. Abigail Wesley. Katie Elizabeth Westgate. Sonia Scarlett Badash. Catherine Bove. Sarah Elizabeth Eden. Valerie Nevarez. Trang Mai Win. Sandra Rankic. Cassidy Lynn Simonis. Selika Correa Glowacki. Erica Berger. Milagros Matilde Guerra Guillen. Congratulations once more, graduates.
The candidates for baccalaureate degrees will now be presented. Dean Newell will make the recommendations to the president, who in turn will confer the degrees.
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees please rise? President Reed, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Education, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Education and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois, invested in me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the baccalaureate degrees for which you have been recommended. And as a sign of your new academic status, please move your tassels from the right side to your left side. Congratulations.
The candidates for baccalaureate degrees will now come forward to be recognized by name as directed by the marshals. Dr. Amy Nelson Christensen, Associate Dean of Inclusive Excellence and Strategic Innovation, will read the names of the candidates. Candidates who have not been taken out of your rows may be seated again. Family and friends, please remain in your seats and hold your applause until all degree groups have been recognized so that each candidate's name may be heard by their family and loved ones. Professional photographers are available and taking photos, and they'll be made available to you in the coming days. Thank you for your cooperation.
Receiving the degree of a Bachelor of Science in Education, Jacqueline Carol Barnes, magna cum laude. Maria Isabel Bautista, cum laude. Casey Basiglia, cum laude. Caroline Maria Blaha, magna cum laude. Alexandra Getty Brist, magna cum laude. Ali Britzowski, magna cum laude. Caden Michael Camburn, cum laude. Yaneli Perez Cisneros. Molly Kathleen Curtin. Grace Lane DeChant, magna cum laude. Maeve Donlin, magna cum laude. Michelle Silvani Aloisa, magna cum laude. Alyssa Flores, summa cum laude. Mia Carmela Gianfrancesco, cum laude. Itzel Gonzalez. Greta Lentz Heider. Sydney Noel Jobs, magna cum laude. Mia Taylor Johnson, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Rose Usher, magna cum laude. Catherine Grace Carell, summa cum laude. Madeline Cutin, magna cum laude. Oliver Kingery, magna cum laude. Holden Edward Kaddish, cum laude. Lauren May Lavender. Andrea Limperatos, magna cum laude. Grace Gertrude Lloyd, magna cum laude. Mark Lozavani, magna cum laude. Natalie Ann Martinez. Sarah Merlos, magna cum laude. Sarah Grays Mikos, cum laude. Faith Margaret Mordak. Grace Murphy. Sydney O'Donnell, summa cum laude. John Richard Ogle, summa cum laude. Sarah Omiatic, magna cum laude. Dia Ramtula, magna cum laude. Justin Robert Rugby. Alyssa Angelina Romero, magna cum laude. Maida Lisette Garcia Sains, magna cum laude. Patrick Sheehan, summa cum laude. Max Schenefeld, cum laude. Julia Skarzinka, summa cum laude. Shreya Tulukder. Cassidy Tennyson, summa cum laude. Jasmine Turubiartes. Isabella Marie Velasquez, cum laude. Christopher James Warren, summa cum laude. Congratulations to the graduates.
Congratulations to the class of 2024 from the School of Education. One more round. The candidates for master's degrees from the School of Environmental Sustainability will now be presented. Founding Dean Nancy Tuckman will make the recommendations to the President, who in turn will confer the degrees.
Will the candidates for the master's degree from the School of Environmental Sustainability please rise? President Reed, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of the Master of Science from the School of Environmental Sustainability. The candidates have fulfilled all of the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that these be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Environmental Sustainability and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois, and vested in me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I am pleased to confer upon you the master's degrees for which you have been recommended. As a sign of your new academic status, candidates, please don your hoods. Congratulations.
The candidates for the master's degree will now come forward to be recognized by name as directed by the marshals. Linda Curtis, Associate Dean of Graduate Studies in the School of Environmental Sustainability, will read the names of the candidates. Candidates who have not been taken out of their rows may be seated. Family and friends, another reminder, please remain in your seats and hold your applause so that each student's name will be heard.
Receiving the degree of Master of Science, Environmental Science and Sustainability, Kayleen Eileen Alexic. Sofia Lucille Alvarado. Emmanuel Abrahanam. Mackenzie Elise Baker. Maria Banas. Luke Foster Bohm. Natalie Nicole Bracamontes. Kathleen Elizabeth Cochran. Janelle Mina Conlon. Vivian Louise Kosi. Sahiba Ulali Kucha. Sorry, Sahiba. Charlotte Dwyer. Grant Douglas Delesk. Farron Jace Edmonds. Famida Fatima. Kelly Shannon Fitzgerald. Elizabeth Grace Hallisey. Nora Angeline Hartnett. Benjamin David Ivory. Anna Janowski. Fadi Yakub Lada. Anna Christine McHugh. Mitchell Odo. Tyler Rico. Catherine Maroon Salwan. Marilla Smith. Richard Tatsulo Suwa. Congratulations to the graduates.
The candidates for baccalaureate degrees from the School of Environmental Sustainability will now be presented. Dean Tuckman will make the recommendations to the president, who in turn will confer the degrees.
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the School of Environmental Sustainability please rise? President Reed, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of the Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the School of Environmental Sustainability. The candidates have fulfilled all of the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend the degrees be conferred upon them.
Okay, here we go. Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Environmental Sustainability and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois and vested in me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you the baccalaureate degrees for which you have been recommended. As a sign of your new academic status, please move your tassels from the right side to the left side. Congratulations.
The candidates for all baccalaureate degrees from the School of Environmental Sustainability will now come forward by degree group to be recognized by name as directed by the marshals. Ms. Rachel Lehman, Assistant Dean of Undergraduate Studies in the School of Environmental Sustainabilities, will read the names of the graduates. Candidates who have not been taken out of their rows may be seated. And I'm going to do this again. Guests, if you could hold your applause so that we can be sure that every family will be able to hear the names of our graduates, we would appreciate it.
Receiving the degree of Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science, Gulnor Ezra Aitikin. Michaela A. Ballard. Avalon Butler, Honors. Sophia Susan Carney. Jace Casey. Michael William Chopra, Honors Cum Laude. Michelle Kathleen Connolly, Magna Cum Laude. Clara Mackenzie Copps, Honors, Magna Cum Laude. Natasha Isabel Cornelius. Paul Anthony Corsetti, Cum Laude. Janine Yusuf Darwish, Honors, Magna Cum Laude. Sophia Rose Early, Honors. Abby Ying Haynes. Jakub Jan Jędrzejewski. Bianca Joy Loglisi. Jennifer Elaine Manelski. Kendall Claire McMullen. Peyton L. Middleton, Honors. Kylie Kindle Miklos. Catherine Maria Multaney, Cum Laude. Piper Therese Morris. Mary Claire Muhlman, Magna Cum Laude. Anushka Nanda. Connor S. Olds, Magna Cum Laude. Nicolina Conchita Piccolo, Honors, Magna Cum Laude. Emily Okita Porter, Magna Cum Laude. Justin Daniel Ross, Honors, Summa Cum Laude. Elizabeth Caitlin Schultz. Catherine Kavanaugh Scully, and Dakota. Francesca Smirniotis, Magna Cum Laude. Matthew Pyad Thompson. Ronaldo Tijerina, Magna Cum Laude. Sherilyn Eliza Venuso, Magna Cum Laude. Sophia Rose Warnicki, Cum Laude. Jessica Ann Zaros. Earning a Bachelor of Science in Conservation and Restoration, Clara Joyce Barton. Joseph Martin Benz. Ellie Lane DeMilt, Honors Cum Laude. Emmett Mason James Glasbrook, Cum Laude. Douglas David Hansford, Cum Laude. Andrew Maxwell Henson, Honors Summa Cum Laude. Nicole Jacob. Jessica Lynn Miller. Sophie C. Miller. Liam Robert Mitchell. Olivia May Muth. Alexander Nielsen. Madeline Palmquist, Honors Magna Cum Laude. Honoring a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Health, Isabella Aurora Cook, Summa Cum Laude. Ruth Ann Heary. Jack Harley Moen, cum laude. Earning a Bachelor of Science in Food Systems and Sustainable Agriculture, Madison Marie Biesinger, honors cum laude. Erica Marie Chalmowski, cum laude. Samuel Bennett Heikkinen, magna cum laude. Iris Marie Michael, summa cum laude. Hanan Hassan Abdullahi, magna cum laude. Catherine Ambrose, summa cum laude. Allison Wells Bennett, cum laude. Catherine Bushman, cum laude. Sylvia Callis, cum laude. Lori Eileen Cornelius, honors, magna cum laude. Martina Rafaela Gomez de la Torre. Madeline Gordon. Jorge Haddad Marbez. Grace Huffman, magna cum laude. Audrey Diane Lamy, magna cum laude. Rachel Hannah Maria, honors, magna cum laude. Allison Quinn Moody, honors, magna cum laude. Grace Ray Mooney, cum laude. Colin Patrick Charles O'Connor. Lindsay Ann Perrone, honors, magna cum laude. Alyssa Samantha Rickert, magna cum laude. Ava Paradise Rolliter, summa cum laude. Grace Louise Saluto. David Austin Stady, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Teresa Swan. Brian Curtis Lewis Thompson, cum laude. Stephanie Ugelic, magna cum laude. Lily Walker, magna cum laude. Victoria Caroline Wright, magna cum laude. Earning a BA in Environmental Studies, Ixchel Eladet Barraza Zapata, magna cum laude. Ethan Mark Raphael Bauer. Cameron A. Anderson. Brian Joseph Chu, cum laude. Asha Emily Egmont, cum laude. Fiona Irene Ferrer, cum laude. Olivia Renee Freiberg, honors, summa cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Friedman. Keelan Lanier Hampton. Michael Eli Huey, summa cum laude. Adrian Marie Kanapka, honors, cum laude. Andrew Ian Najar. Maria Dalen Rio Pedre, honors, summa cum laude. Laura Elise Shields, magna cum laude. James E. Tews, summa cum laude. Victoria G. Trenny, magna cum laude. Bailey Bennett Udick, cum laude. Lydia M. Wilden. Congratulations, graduates.
Congratulations to the class of 2024 graduates from the School of Environmental Sustainability. One more time. Please direct your attention to the screens as we stream a video message from the Loyola Alumni Association, followed by remarks of President Reed.
Hello from Chicago. My name is Thad Wong from the class of 1996, and I am co-CEO of At Properties Christie's International Real Estate. I wish you all a big congratulations on one of the greatest accomplishments in your life, your graduation. After graduation, you are automatically welcomed as part of the Loyola University Chicago Alumni Association. It is now my pleasure to turn it over to my fellow alumnus, Dr. Steven Squinto. Dr. Squinto has had a remarkable career in the biotechnology company building and investing space. Speaking to you from Palm Beach, Florida, Dr. Steven Squinto.
Thanks, Thad, and congratulations to all of our graduates. I graduated from Loyola with 2 degrees. I am currently with JP Morgan Asset Management. I serve as the Chief Investment Officer and the Managing Partner of our newly created Light Sciences Private Capital Group. Loyola's goal is to find a meaningful way for all of our alumni to remain engaged with the university. For example, you can stay connected through Loyola's mentorship program, Loyola Linked. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Glennis Green. Dr. Green serves as the co-founder and executive director of the Black Researchers Collective. She joins us from Chicago, Illinois.
Thank you, Dr. Squinto, and congratulations, everyone. My name is Dr. Glennis Green, aka Dr. G, and I'm a 2009 graduate from the College of Arts and Sciences. A great way to stay in touch with Loyola is to keep in contact with professors and staff or attend one of the many alumni events. There will always be a way for you to stay connected. There are regional Rambler communities that you can be a part of, including in San Francisco, home of Reach Capital, co-founder and Loyola alum Jennifer Caroline. Jennifer taught in traditional public schools for 7 years, pursued an MA in education from Stanford, then went on to learn the craft of venture capital for almost a decade before co-founding Reach Capital.
Thank you so much, Dr. Green. I graduated from Loyola in 1997 from the College of Arts and Sciences. I'm a co-founder and partner at Reach Capital. Loyola was the first real mission-driven organization that I was a part of, and it had a major impact on my career, including the founding of Reach, a mission-driven venture fund focused on education. And it is so important to remain part of our community. So let's stay in touch. I urge you to take full advantage of these opportunities. Congratulations again on your graduation from Loyola University Chicago. You should be very proud. The best is yet to come. Go Ramblers!
Good morning again, class of 2024. I'm going to break from the program real quickly for 2 things. First is to tell you, if it rains on your graduation, that is good luck. And you got the deluge trying to come in here today. It's going to be sunny later today, I promise you that. Secondly, you've been pretty good about being quiet for a while now, so go make as much noise as you want. Cheer for our graduates. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. After all, this is an arena. This is where the Ramblers play. We like it to get loud in here. Now, this is the first of 12 ceremonies this week. Everybody's going to have a chance at the end to make as much noise as they can. So you have to set the standard for the 11 to follow you. So do that again. Let's make some noise for our graduates. Good job, good job. By the way, after every ceremony, I tell everyone they're the best. So you're the best so far. Congratulations. On behalf of the faculty, the staff, and the entire Loyola University Chicago community, I offer you my heartfelt and deepest congratulations on this very special day. And welcome to family and friends who are joining us here in the arena and to all of those who are watching online. Now, graduates, I would like you, all of you graduates, to please stand. And I ask you graduates to take a moment and think with me and to acknowledge and thank the people whose dreams of this day stretch all the way back to when you were born. Your parents, family, friends who provided advice, support, and companionship on this journey. Now, you know where they are in this arena, so I ask you to turn to them, face them, wave to them, and give them a grateful round of applause. Now, graduates, years from now, maybe months from now, maybe even days from now, few of you will remember the president of Loyola University Chicago who spoke at your graduation ceremony or shook your hand. But you will vividly remember the remarkable faculty and staff that you encountered here. You will benefit from their insight and care for the rest of your lives. And so please honor the Loyola faculty and staff who share in your achievements and celebration, and join me in saying thank you to them. Graduates, we have already heard wonderful reflections and remarks from our student and commencement speakers, so you can take comfort that I know when to be brief. I simply say that you have been privileged to be part of the Jesuit educational experience that is nearly 500 years old. And it's more than 150 years old here at Loyola specifically. And we seek to educate and to form the next generation of leaders who will be capable of shaping the future with competence, vision, justice, and charity, with a sense of calling, with concern for all of the human family. You have received much during your time at Loyola, but remember that your education ultimately isn't just for you. It's for you to serve and to make a difference in your community, your family, your chosen profession, and the lives of others. So go forward and embrace your futures boldly and confidently. Always remember that you are loved. We love you. Your parents, family, and friends love you. God loves you. Graduates, it's now your turn to be seated. Now, everyone else here in the arena today, and if you are watching online, if you want to do it as well, go right ahead. If you are able, everyone else here, please stand and join me in a special blessing over our graduates. And I invite you to extend your hands over our graduates and join me in the blessing that's located on the screens in the arena as well as the last page of the program book. As we say together, may God bless you and sustain you on this your graduation day. May the Creator of this vast universe keep you safe as you go forth from this place that has nourished your mind and your soul. May the Almighty look down upon you and give you success in all your endeavors, courage in all your struggles and challenges, understanding in all that is new to you, wisdom to choose what is right and do what is good, perseverance in all you undertake, serenity and peace in the knowledge that you are not alone, that you are loved. May the Lord of all look kindly upon you this day and forever. Amen. Congratulations, graduates.
Will our graduates please rise? It is now my privilege to invite Madeline Rose Morrison, candidate for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts in Music, Vocal Performance, and Bachelor of Business Administration Management cum laude, to lead the community in the Loyola University alma mater. Madeline will be accompanied by the Loyola Wind Ensemble. Thank you to all of our talented musicians. Let's give them a round of applause. We ask that the audience please be seated until the recessional from the stage and the graduates have left the arena. Following the recessional, please join the graduates for a reception in the Damon Atrium.